Hey Roosters, and welcome back to another video. Today's video we're going to be doing some art and we're going to be showing off some gameplay. The gameplay video is going to be sped up a little bit in the middle. Hopefully I don't get too lazy when it comes to editing, and the beginning part of the video, although gameplay is completely normal speed, the middle is completely sped up, maybe to an unwatchable degree, but hopefully just so that maybe it'll be a little quicker, and I'll unspeed up again so that you can see how the game ends. I talk a little bit about what I feel about the game as I play it, and if the audio comes out not too bad, then maybe you'll be able to get to see a little bit of that. But otherwise, I'm going to give some post thoughts after this video, after this little bit is done, after the battle video, and we'll talk more about my feelings then. Hey Roosters, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be doing a battle video for you guys, showing off the newest rules that I just added. Well, I didn't just add to the game, but I added to the game. When you guys, in the last video, I changed some rulings. This is going to be using almost exactly the same rules. You'll find you'll see what they look like in practice. There are some small changes from that video to this video, and that's maybe not an official change, but something I'm going to be testing out in this video. I've tested it out before. I kind of like it, which is the only reason why I'm even showing it. But it may be a little different from what you've seen, and that is all revolves around how you get energy cards under power cards under this source card. So before it was through boosting. Now I've changed it so that every time you play a card, regardless if you boost it or not, you get something under here. This leads into another big change, is that I wanted you to be able to spin these resources more. So now the source has a source action, spin 3 of any type, and then you get to calm 1, which essentially recover 1. And hopefully we'll show you guys how that works. But that being said, let's get right into the battle video without further ado. If you guys don't know how to play the game, I will be essentially running through the rules as I do them, but it also will probably be a good idea to go back to the last video and the video before that as well, and watch those videos so that you have a good understanding of the rule set, and that's if you're unable to pick it up as we play. So you'll draw 4 cards at the start of the game, and you can take a mulligan. I'm not going to, not because that hand is good, but because I don't want to try to get into that right now. The concept of a good hand is still not exactly concrete. As long as you can play cards on the first turn, that's okay. And you really don't even have to be able to do that because resources roll over between turns. Okay, second thing we're going to do is we're going to set down our stamina after we got our hand and decided whether or not we wanted a mulligan. 6 stamina to start the game. And you'll see that your deck, it runs thin, seemingly quick. I think I might have mentioned this in previous videos. But then the second that the game starts playing, and you think, oh wow, I ran out of deck, you recover, or your deck comes back, and then it just doesn't happen. And then you're like, oh wow, I basically have a ton of deck left. Then you're going to place down our starting shields. For each. And then we're going to flip up our first sprite. And so this is a bug sprite in my level 3 slot, which means it actually musters two action points or arsenal points, whatever I'm going to end up calling them. So you get 2 resources to start the game, and you muster it by putting it into your action point pile. So just to run through all what I did right there at the start of the game, shuffle up your deck, you draw your hand of 4 cards. You set down 6 cards of stamina. You set down 3 shield cards. You choose a sprite to start with first. It's usually be your most powerful sprite because that will give you the most resources. You muster however much you would muster from that sprite normally. So because we have a level 3 sprite here, we're mustering 3 arsenal points. Then we're going to start the game. And I believe that's all there is. I think I got everything. I mean, you think I would know. Then you would randomly decide who's going to go first. I'm just going to have this player go first because I saw him. It doesn't really matter that much. I don't even remember seeing anybody's in either player's hands. So we'll just have this guy go first. And what we're looking for right now, we're looking for a 1 cost or 2 cost card. Usually 2 1 cost card with different power source symbols. So in the top left corner, right corner, you have the power source symbol. And so this guy has a light and this guy has a dark. So we're going to play both these guys. Now I can play this guy as an active card. He'll stay on the field and he'll help me out. Or I can play him as an attack or defense. What we're going to do is we're going to start with an attack. We're going to throw it out here. We're going to target our opponent's middle shield. That activates, if you look at under the power symbol, which is in the bottom corner, there's a grid of 6 boxes. Depending on where you play your attack card or your defense card, that's where you'll get a benefit from the grid. So for in this situation, we have a purple benefit, which means we don't have to boost. It literally just gives us a static +1, so we're at 4 power. And now we're attacking our opponent. That's our combat action. Then we get a source action. We could use that to boost or something else. We don't want to take it. And when we play this card, we'll gain 1 dark energy because of this card having the dark symbol in the corner. Goes over to our opponent. They get to take a combat action and a source action. And they can either choose to try to defend this, or of course we have to pay the cost of the attack, which is the yellow number in the top left corner. We can try to defend this, or we can try to just sling our own attack back at our opponent. We're probably going to want to plan out our own turn. So what we're going to do is we're going to play with some buffs in our hand that we could try to play. We're going to try to play our own attack, and we're going to ignore our opponent. We're going to go there. This is a dark card as well, so what's going to happen is we're going to pay our resource, gain our dark energy, and then we can choose to boost it or not. It's a 2 power card, and it boosts for 4, so we're going to go ahead and boost here, turning it sideways, and that's going to give it +2 power because of its middle number in the grid. It's a red number, so that means when you boost it, it gets +2 power. We're going to lose this card, but with 4 power, we can almost exhaust or deal damage to any card in our opponent's grid. Then we go back to our opponent. They have another action. They can activate this battle, or they can play another card if they really wanted to. I think in this situation, because we didn't block and they have 4 power, they're just going to flip this card over in battle. The shield's value of 3. They have a power of 4. So this card goes to our damage pile. And you see in the green number in the bottom left corner is a 1. So we're actually, that means we've taken 1 damage. Right now, the rules are you take 5 damage, you're out of here. In this card, since he didn't exhaust it, it goes to his recovery pile. Back to over to this player, he now gets an action. He can activate this battle, play another card, or he can also, of course, pass. But we're just going to activate this battle. We've already boosted. So here we have a 5, actually, to our 4. And so this is the worst case scenario because this card goes to our exhausted pile because we exhausted it to use it. But this card, as it didn't get defeated, it actually goes to his recovery pile, which is really bad because I definitely lost that exchange. And that's part of the decision making. Because if I hadn't boosted, it really wouldn't have been so bad. I would have, wasted some resources. But in the grand scheme of things, I would have still came out of that situation not so bad. But now I definitely lost that exchange. Now he has more resources. He gets another action. He can play another card or something. So you may want to activate an active ability if you don't want to attack again, which isn't a bad plan. Or you can just attack again. There's nothing wrong with that either. What we want to do is we want to let's play for this. Let's build a little bit. So we're going to play this active card down here. It's going to go over shield slot, and that's going to be our active card for the shield slot. And then, of course, we still played the card, so we're going to have to gain an energy based off of its type. And we're going to spend the resources, because in the text block, the activate resource actually has a different cost than the attack version. In this case, it is both 1, but for example, it could have been a 3 or 2, and you pay based off what the text box says if you're going to use it for a different purpose other than attacking and defending. So in this situation, we pay the resource, it goes down as an active card. So now whenever one of our attacks hit, which means when they actually defeat a shield, then we can balance burst 1, which means we discard 1 resource power source of each type, and then we get the blitz 1, which is essentially burn 1. You discard the top card of your opponent's deck. You deal damage your opponent from the top card of their deck, which is a really powerful effect. Over on this player's side, we're going to want to play a light card as well. But as we don't have an active card we can either use this card to aim, which is not bad, but we might as well just swing. And we're actually going to swing at this active card here, because if we're able to defeat it, then we get the ability to discard his active card as well. So we're going to pay the cost on both sides with the material or the arsenal point, and then we're also going to gain the light energy of the correct kind. Then we get a chance to boost if we really want to. Now, last time we didn't boost, but this time we also know our opponent doesn't have the ability to defend us because they're out of resources. So we could ultimately not boost here and try to reserve ourselves. This is a question you always have to ask yourself. Am I going to extend, hoping that I don't overextend, or am I going to not extend, hoping because if I don't and I still win, it will be really favorable for me. So in this situation, we have two benefits for defeating the shield: A, destroying his active card, and B, defeating this shield here. And so we're going to extend here, and I don't know if that's smart, obviously, but we're going to do it here, check for trap effects, he doesn't have one, and the extending was smart in the end, because we go up to 4, he has a 4 shield value. So this shield gets defeated, goes to his damage zone, now he has 3 damage, it's a lot of damage. And then this card, because we defeated the shield, gets exhausted. And this card also gets exhausted because we exhausted it from the battle. Now, it's important to note also that battles, you have to take a combat action to resolve a battle. So we technically shouldn't have done that, but because this player doesn't have anything to do anyway, I skipped over his turn essentially, which I really shouldn't have. You're really supposed to not do that. And then that's gonna be it for the turns, right? So, oh, actually, this player does have something to do extra. So he has a trap in his hand, so you can play his traps face down, which is really good. I sort of been playing around this rule more and more because right now traps are costless and there's no reason not to place your trap face down if you have one. And so it's kind of just a free thing to do. So he's just going to go ahead and do it. We're going to play the trap here. It does take up your active slot, which means you couldn't play an active card there or place another card down, but generally it's not going to matter. You're not going to care. Okay, that's the end of a turn. We're going to clean up now. First things we do is we draw up to our new hand size. So I've been playing back and forth with drawing up to a hand size or drawing a certain static number of cards. At this juncture, I'm getting more and more likely that it's going to be a static number of cards you just draw, not draw up to a certain amount. That being said, I've been playing around heavily with the concept of drawing 3 cards. But because it's also been a lot, what we're going to do for this gameplay video, which is completely fine because testing out new things with you guys is just as important as testing out without you guys, we're going to just have everybody every round draw 2 cards, and we'll see how the card advantage changes the overall gameplay. So both players are going to draw 2 cards, and this is sort of gives him a secondary penalty for playing down that trap because now he has less cards in his hand. Because the trap is free. So before, if he drew up, there would be no reason to do that. He would just have a strict benefit. Now he actually has a negative. We're going to recover all the cards from our recovery pile, put them under our decks. And so you can see how he's winning this exchange. He has 15 cards left in his deck, and we have 13 cards left in our deck, so it would be actually, at first glance, it seems like he's winning. But also, if you look at it from a secondary point of view, he has 5 damage taken, he has 3 damage taken, and we have 1 damage taken. And we'll get to why that's important later. Then we're going to flip over a new sprite. That's the wrong button. We're going to muster our new amounts of energy. So we're now mustering 3, both of us. Important to always check to see if your sprite you flipped over added an important ability that would activate when you flip it over. And then we're going to regulate the powers. So I have 1 light and 1 dark, which means I'm going to draw 1 card from my arsenal points, and then I'm going to put 1 card from my hand back into my arsenal points. So what you see here is that having an equal amount of both does more than just keep you in balance on your sprite card, but it actually gives you ability to filter your hand. Every turn you're going to need to look at more cards, even though your hand size and your arsenal point won't change. You'll be able to gain a huge benefit from having an equal number of both. If I had more dark, I'd have to put more cards in my hand into my arsenal points. If I had more light, I'd have to draw more cards from my arsenal points. So it's important to think of it that way. Now this person has the same setup, so he's going to draw a card from his arsenal points, and he can choose a card from his hand to put back. And I usually just look for duplicates. In this situation, we're going to have 3 resources, and so we're going to put back, I'm going to say, this block in. Okay, then we regulated our power sources. we're going to put down shields. He has to put down 2, because I destroyed 2 of his shields, I only have to put down 1. So now, the game is we're getting another look at how the game always shakes out. So it seemed at first that this person winning has more cards left in his deck, but the board state is very hard to tell who's winning. He has more damage on him, he has more cards in his deck, he has a trap down, but he has less cards in his hand, and so on and so forth. We have more cards on hand, less damage on us, and you can see how different things would play out. Now, the next thing we're going to do is this person has 3 damage. You get 5 damage, you lose the game. If I damage him 2 more times, regardless of what cards they are, he's going to lose the game. So he's going to actually take a recover action. He's going to throw this resource in his recovery bin. This is really dangerous because he may not be able to get the full 5 recovery. So he has a 1 in his discard pile here and an orange here. And he's going to get rid of the damage. If you look here, he can recover orange because of his source card. So he's just going to take this because the total resource recovery points is 3 on this guy, the green number in the bottom corner, and 1 on this guy. So that's 4. He didn't get to get his full recovery, but it's pretty close. He's going to put those cards into his recovery pile. He's going to put those cards in his deck now, and then he's going to shuffle it up. And so now he runs out of stamina, he loses the game. But you can also see how if I had pressed more damage this turn, the last turn, I could have killed him turn 1, which is important too. It's not likely, but it's that ever-looming threat that just because you have a huge deck left, it doesn't mean you're 100% ahead. Now, I only have 1 damage. He's going to have to pull out a crazy victory or some decent damage over me to win from this point in the game. So we're just going to go ahead and say that I'm not going to recover on this side. Keep my stamina up. Wait till maybe a more opportune recovery where I can clear more damage and get better cards back from my exhausted pile. That being said, let's get into the new turn. This guy went first last time, so this guy's going to go first this time. We have resources to spend, stuff we can do. Let's use aim here to show you how it works. We spend a resource. It's a light card, a light power source, or a light energy, or a light power source. Then we use the effect buff, which means that he goes to this pile and attack with his and you can aim 1 and aim. This really means I can aim my card, it's not a shield. So now I know what the value actually is. So I look at the guy 5. Now I know if I'm going to attack the shield, I have to make sure all my powers above 5, and it really gives me a lot of information on what I'm going to do in terms of my attacks. Now I'm not attacking the shield at all, knowing that 5 powers really big, I might not be able to take over it. But that's what aim does, it gives you a lot of information. Alright, this player, he's going to play an attack. Right in the middle, leaves 5 on the powerful attack printed. Obviously, but if you go towards the middle, it's a static form. Really powerful. It can hit most cards, it's easier to slide in here, so it's not going to hit everything, but it hit most things. And it is a dark card, so we're going to gain 1 dark from that card. Okay, this is my action. I can defend this card, make that nav not so perfect. Or what I can do is I can just say, well, forget about it, I'm going to just go out and make my own attack and don't worry about my opponent's going on. All those things are valid, but there's not much there on the butt side of things. We're just going to go here. This is another part about the grid system is so interesting because this attack is 3 power, boost for 1 on the left side, and anywhere attacking you start charging so go for 5 since it's the highest number. This card's highest number is 5, booster attack 3, booster 2 on the leftmost thing, so it's 5 regardless. That's really important. This guy can go 5, you do places 4 in the middle, where this guy, depending where you want to attack, can go 4 in one place, 3 in one place, and 5 in another place without having to start that card. So the flexibility of these 2 cards, they both go 5, and both of them can do different things for you. But even though they both have similar attack values in certain situations, this card becomes better in a situation if my goal is to attack and defeat this specific trap card. I'm not going to attack that trap card because ultimately I don't really want to do that because if I go 5 is my highest number, my opponent can easily just play this card and that goes completely wrong for me. So we're not going to do that. We're going to go attack over here for 3 and we can boost it. First we have to get a cost of 2 material points and 1 card from top of the deck. And so this could go poorly, we could boost, but 3 is a decent number, it hits a decent amount of time, and there's really writing things about, so we're not going to overextend here. Now, over here, we're not going to boost, we're just going to battle. 3 surprise, it's one of those top numbers, and now 3 damage, so next turn I'm definitely looking to recover, if he doesn't kill me this turn. So now I'm going to go ahead and say for my turn, I'm just going to go ahead and trigger this battle spell. It's a 2 shield, perfect. So this card goes over here, didn't have to boost at all, this card goes to his damage zone, so now he has 1 damage again. Not a lot, but he can take his attack. Now this guy's action again, he's going to go ahead, he's not having any defenders, he's going to say, I'm just going to push for damage. And now see, he can play 2, this will be card here and take some resources, or go up with a more powerful card. I think in this situation we're just going to play the card here for reasons shown a bit, spend a resource, drop a gain light, and then we're going to go ahead, and this guy's turn, he do something. So for example, if I trap card, I can actually play the trap card down here, which is really big, because traps only trigger when the battle is activated. So even before you don't really attack card, I can still lay a trap right under the attack. And so you can get your opponent multiple times, a lot of times actually. But we're going to be able to just pass, he's going to go for his turn, he's going to trigger his battle to 3. Oh wait, I think I'm going to boost here. Oh, give me the resource save again. Attack fails. Okay. Attack fails, both cards go to the recovery pile, and then what this person is going to do is he can actually lay this trap as well for free. And like I said, that has its benefits and its negatives. If you lay that trap for free, then we're only getting 2 cards next turn. We're losing a lot of options that have a huge hand advantage over us. So we're not going to trap, we have a trap lead under a really powerful card. He's pretty much never going to have a good reason to go after this shield, so it almost completely persuades him to go after the shield. And that could be a good thing. Also, we have a resource point here left. That's all these things are pretty good. Next turn, let's clean up. Recover all the cards from our deck, for recovery pile. Then what we're going to do is we're going to draw 2 cards. And just right, recover the muster points. So we're going to 4 now. He's actually going to 5 because he had 1 from earlier. So that's really big, good reason to save, so sometimes you can do bigger something later turns. And then, what's next? We're going to clear this up. We have 2 lights, so we're going to 2 cards from recovery pile, and 2 cards from Q back. So, I don't usually put too much effort into doing this because it can, the pure information you have to choose can be big. I just do it with my hand. That's not a good thing. But you can see how a person gets really good at this game, right? Plays a lot, knows exactly what cards to back. He sees huge hand 6 cards, he knows which 4 to keep. And you're recovering even more so, he's always trying to recover, you know that you're supposed to keep. Here we're going to get 2 cards. Again, we're just looking for duplicates, not that because it's intelligent, but because I'm not duplicates. So here we get pictures, we can try to use it. We get 5 resources. So we might want to keep a big 3 like this, and that's dark. And so we can play 3 and 2 1s. So it'll be 1 dark 3 and let's say 2 lights maybe. That's a light we can play. And then we have 1 light and then we do another dark, and 1 plus dark. This is a dark. So we're going to get rid of these 2 cards then. And so sometimes you have to do it because it's like you can't just find duplicates and make easy choices. But here we actually were able to build a better turn, I believe, with the card we drew. We have to look at our hand and plan out a better turn. And obviously these go right, but that's good for us. Then we get our shield. And then we can take turns to recover. In this situation, this guy has no cards in his pile. 1 damage. He's not going to recover. This guy, on the other hand, 4 damage, 3 damage, like the other guy before, and the cards is discarded in his pile. So I can take the correction. And we recover 3 for the first time, like 5, so we get to put 3 cards that we are able to recover from here back into our deck. So we have some yellow cards here, which means we can't recover them because we only recover green. So we're going to take these 2 cards, which is 3. And after we're going to put them in here. These are going back to our pile. And then we're going to get in the back of our deck. And so now we both take the recovery. I have no damage to the card. No damage to the card in the pile. This player has no cards in the pile with damage, more resources, a trap. Maybe I face up shield with a trap down to protect it, and it's a good number. Overall, you can see how the question of who's winning this game is still up in the air. And that's cool. I have a problem sometimes because generally I feel like nothing's happening. But at the same time, it's really cool because after all that, usually somebody's winning. And it's not like the board stays exactly on both sides. You have to do things going on. I have a card in my hand. He has some traps down. He's a trap down, right? He's a card shield card. The board stays different, more resources. But the question of who's really winning is still up in the air. This is important too. We got this. So this card's win pain, which is when we flip over, we draw an extra card. He has an alternate version of that as well. So that's important. You look at your stride abilities. So stride abilities are really interesting. A lot of times you commit them, which means that you have to exhaust them, which means that you can't gain muster points from them, which means that a lot of times you don't use stride abilities. I'm actually going to do a big push. So if we're going to get 3 damage, I just need to get any time. I'm going to push out try to kill this turn. And a lot of times it works because it's really hard to continue that level of power unless you're really for that level of power on your side as well. Anyway, this guy was first last time. This guy's go first this time. He has 2 cards in his hand, and he might have liked, but he's going to try to make it work. So this card says the draw card. I need more cards in hand, so we're going to save that for defense. We're going to make a quick offensive play here. We could aim, which is smart. But we're going to use an attack because A, we're not going to pressure our opponent, and because we're going to swing middle anyway. We don't really care. Resource is a dark card. Our own turn. Now they get the choice to respond. Now I'm trying to use the abilities here because I always overlook them, but they do help, obviously. So I'm trying to use the abilities to this gameplay so that we can see exactly what's going on. So choices. So I tried to hit this card. It's probably going to hit. So we're just going to go multi-turns plans. We have resources in us, but we don't care that much. So what we're going to do is we're going to have these things really important for this ending. We're going to defense card. We're going to spend. We're going to do this one. I'm going to boost. We're just going to play this defense card. Spend a resource. There you go. And then we have a research right here. Our opponent's turn. So he enters his battle, but now he goes from 4 down to 2 because we're defending for 2. So this attack feels less enticing. If I get the card, I boost the attack, I can change that number by belt. So what we're going to say is, well, we can't boost right away, so now we're just going to trigger the battle right now. It's 3. So the battle fails, but we can boost, so we don't lose much. Our opponent gets to put these cards in his recovery pile. All's fine, right? Then our opponent gets an action. Or the other gets an action. He has no choice, but a lot of resources, really open up a lot of cards in your hand, obviously. What card did we just play, actually? What was that? What was this? I forgot to give gain lightning from that. So, what we're going to do. Let's just play this attack card. For 3, we're zooming. Yeah, alright. This is important. Once you have 3 resources, you can have this ability, which says, source action, expend 3, and call 1 resistance to recover 1. Really powerful effect. So, that's what you're sort of building towards. The question is, we boost this or not. We can boost it. But 3 is a pretty big number. So instead of, let's boost it, why not? So 4. Our bonus action. This is what we've been waiting for, right? We're going to play this here. For 3. A dark. We draw a card. Well, now, we're at a 4, to the 3. You can boost, we can discard a card to get power. But it only makes a 5 to the 3, which is still not a good number. So this attack's kind of lost it, pretty much. And we could play another card. If we want to all balance. What we're going to do, we're going to push for more damage. We're going to go here, pay a resource, gain another light energy. Now, this guy's 4 light, this guy's 4 light. We're going to see what that looks like in a second. Let those 2 do the turn. And we're going to boost this. Our opponent's resource left, they have the ability to decide whether or not they're going to defend that attack. Good question. He's attacking for 4. Probably hit, definite. I mean, there's very few 5s in there, but there are 5, but good point. We're going to push the damage on our own side. If we defend one of their attacks, we'll push some special damage. So here, 1 resource, 1 light. We're not going to use that, it's not that good right now, but we got 1 up. Let's use this back. This attack, it gains +2 power. Right, that's going to be non-actions like a reaction, essentially. And so it's going to be a 4 power attack. And there's a source action around, we can use this effect. It says expend 3, choose against strike draw card, equals monster value. That's this one, so we're going to draw a card actually. And we spend 3 and type this of the same type. So we're going to drop down to 1 of that. Our one's turn. We're going to this battle, a 3 to their 4. They win that. Now we damage on us. They also get an source actions around. And so why don't they use their version of it? They're going to expend 1, 2, 3 of one kind, and then they get to calm 1, which means they get to recover a recovery card of 1. So you can take this card, for example, and throw it in the recovery pile. Then, that's their turn. Our turn. We can go for this attack. It's like 4 attack. 3 there. So we're going to hit that, and it's going to be 1 damage on our opponent. We get source action. We're taking our source action to spend this to get rid of it. This gives us an effect, but we're going to say it's as imbalanced as possible. Now, it's important to note that this is a new upgrade. You can't take source action without taking a combat action. You choose a passive combat action, you're forced to pass your source action, which I'm going to stop you from expending into your imbalance again, which is okay. And then, this turn, over here, we're going to trigger this as a combat action. The only one's going to fail. So they're at 4 to our minus 3, 1, it fails, obviously this goes to the exhaust pile. This card was just defense card, so it goes here. This card did not defeat it, so it goes here. And then as a source action, they're going to expend this. And this guy's another turn. There's more resources, he can't play cards for free, obviously. And so he's going to, he does this combat right here. Just spend resources. Yeah, read card. Well, that's going to be that. That's the end of the round. We're going to clean up, put these cards. Draw 2 cards. Then we're going to get another strike. Our strike says maintain the address 1. Their strike does not have that ability. Then we're going to muster 2, 3, 4, 5 for this player. We're going to muster 2, none, 4, 3, 4 for this player because he has exhausted strike. Then this guy's going to ready. Then we're going to regulate. So we're going to draw 2 cards, put 1 back on the side of the field. A lot of cards in here. There's 1 on this side, compared to like TCS. You have to deal with just a ton of cards. So we're going to put 1 back, right? So we're going to 4 resources, but we get an extra card. We get more lightning in the card, right? This player, he has 1 light, 2 cards, so he can draw 1 card. And he has to put 2 from his hand back into the old bin. We're going to go here. Now we get 6 resources. Just keep the biggest cards in our hands. Those are 2. I'm going to drop this one. What card do we just look back? Lock in. We just look back this. And this. So we want to spend all resources for okay, so that means that we can use actually comfortably use our sprites without having to worry about the whiplash and backlash. So we get our power regulators. We're going to do this. Now over here we have a choice if we're going to recover at 3. I generally think that 3 is a good cover number. We're going to do it. You start to get on. And you have to recover 4, but we can't recover late cards. You don't have that ability. So we're just going to recover this 1 card. And then that's going to go to the deck. Over here, I'm going to damage from my and I've got a shield, 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 which is supposed to be beforehand, but here we go. I'm going to be holding down to see if I should have brought in a first player token to see who goes first. Somebody has to rewind footage to see who went first the last round, but he went first on the first round, then him, then I went first, he went first. Right, so first, second, third, fourth, so he went first round, I believe. Am I wrong? Well, next. We have 4 resources here, so we want to balance out of this. So we're going to play at least 1 light card, and then we're going to play more cards, another light, another dark. So 4 resources, that's easily done. You can play a light, that's 1 light, and a light, that's 4, all 4 resources, so that's not easily done at all. But we're going to play a dark, right? Dark, probably, I would say. Okay, yeah, something else. Okay, we go first. It's still classic. They're all reliable. Only slashing to the middle. We're 1 resource, 1 dark. Now we can defend it. We have 6 resources. So let's make this time miserable. Why not, right? Let's go here. Defend. His action. Let's push some damage. So we're here for 4, 3 resources. That's a light. So we're here. I'm going to spend our resource action. Spend all 3 of these. 2, get a card from oh, that is 1. Okay. Then our turn. Did I correct this? I got a light. I don't think I. Oh, what? This player always has 1 lightning and dark. I can't do right. My turn. I need to pay for this defense card. I think this player has 1 lightning and dark. The other way around. Well, that's part of the reason why I'm probably problem with this game, is the game. I believe myself because I have to keep track of a lot more than other people. But at the same time, I think there's a lot going on in this game. A lot of mechanics that aren't in other games you have to keep track of. Other games doesn't function. And that's cool. If when I do it right, but when I do it wrong, just everything falls apart sometimes. It's really bad. Let's do it. Let's go. So attack here for 3. And it costs us dark. And then let's use our... Let's use... No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Let's just leave it like that. And let's use our... Let's not pick up. Let's just not do it. Their action. Maybe they're going to chase battle. There's a combination. It's 4. We're 4. Perfect. This card is damage. This card goes over here. And we're at our source action. We're going to spend this. Our turn over here. We have 3. We trade battle. It's a 3. Perfect. Counter action. Source action. We're going to spend this. Is that what we're going to do? Are we going to do that? We're going to spend this. Not. I think we'll get here now. Over here, we got resources. We can trade this battle. 3. We have 4. We have 2. It's not going to be enough. But we need to take a source action to spend this. Then, over on this side, we're going to use his attack to spend 1 resource to make attack, apply 2 power attack range. Over here. Now, range means that this attack is not your trap abilities. So, range, 2 attacks range, we're going to already take a roll on card, so we're going to buff it to this and say plus 2 power. So, it's 4 power attack range. And as a source action, we're going to spend all this to draw a card. Okay, their action, they don't have one. I don't think. We're going to trigger back over our turn for this. That's damage. We got 4 damage now. Hold on. 1 damage right here. Then our attack hit, so we actually draw a card. And as a source action of the turn, we're going to go ahead and expend this. Or, because we can do with a light, you're going to and then they're going to pass, because they're going to anything really do. And we're going to play another attack. We're going to play this over here. Our last resource and a light. And we're going to say, we can't boost it. They boost for nothing. It's so bad. Dang, so bad. There's no way for me to get more power on this card. Dang, I should discard just because it doesn't matter to attack here. Hey, other player can go back and switch around the attacks. No, because you'll shield value. We're going to need that. So fine, we're not going to go back. We're boosting for nothing. 2 power. On the start, let's just hit. It doesn't. Dang. It could be the one right there. I could have the game. And just making sure there's nothing I can really do to fix that. Nope. Or just don't spend this on my last action. Well, when I spend my source action, we're going to keep it and draw an extra card this turn. Next turn. We're going to get rid of it. Okay, and turn up. All these cards we got rid of, go back to the deck. Then, what's next? Reverse cards. Oh. 2 cards, 1 up. Alright, then, we would finish right, we don't have 2, we don't have anything muster. They have 5, we get 4 over there. We have 4. Then we would regular this price, we don't have anything like we're going to draw, I'm putting back. This guy stands. Then, shields. Right. Wow. Shields. We got 3. We got 3. And now we get a chance to recover. Then I'm going to do. All the damage goes away. We're this close. But now we can recover 3 cards. 3 point cards. We got this. 1 and that 2. I'm going to cinch that. There we go. We're going to recover 2 1 up because we have a lot of damage. Our first recovery is only 4 points. We have 2 cards. We don't recover 1 of them, so we're just going to get back. Alright. Next round. This guy's our first game. 4 resources. We're going to aim here. Okay, we're in here. And resource, light. We're looking. Attack is right here. Let's not aim. I know I can look at a card that I didn't see yet, so we're just not aim. We're just attack instead. Or 2 in the middle. Well, we'll go over here, maybe here. I'm not going to know that card was. 2 over here. Source action, my thing. Their turn. Well, I'll boost. For 3. Why not? Bonus turn. They have 5 resources. That's victory. Defend card. And I need to play. So darks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're not playing card. Let's see what they were going to do, but then scan light energy, spend a resource, aim. Let's look at the old middle. Let's do it. So it's good information. And this card goes over here. We're going to battle. 3, 3, good, 2 damage. Let's go see Our action, we're going to go there. One resource to dark. Now, wasting 4 on 2 is ridiculous. You're wasting power on a weaker card. Wasn't helpful over, so you'll have to use a more powerful attack. Yes. But at the same time, now it gets harder for my opponent to stop this. I have to play very much more powerful defense card. Or we're going to have the boosters defense card, which is an exhaust card to them, which is almost as bad as them not. So our opponent now has a choice. This is only double damage, so you're just going to let the players love that, right? They don't have time to waste defense. So I crush through their opponent's offense, right? Right. So we're going to do actually. Do that. So trap now. We'll sneak trap. So this is important. So now if I want to choose this battle, and my attack is hard, they know me in effect. And now because I built these decks, I know this attack could theoretically do one of two things. It could be a trap that gains them energy, or it could be a trap that deals us damage. So we might not just not act as battle at all. But again, you can't really trap forever. You're going to have to eventually cancel them with 2 shields and we're never going to attack. So that's important for us too. And we're going to, that's our combat action. We're going to go ahead and expend this for our source action. So we're going to that. On their side of the field, there's an attack over here. See resources going. We go here. Yeah, let's do it. We're going to boost for 1. There's also the dark card, so let's do that as well. So let's do that. And they're going to discard a card for 1 more. So this is a 5 at this number. Now here we defend it, right? Or not. Let's throw a bunch of opponents there. Let's do that. Let's do this. For 2, and it's a dark card. We're going to put 1 down and expend it. So over there it goes. Over here, they're actually 3 resources left. Let's play this card over here. 2 resources. And then let's boost it out. And that is a light resource. So I think there's 1 more. Now we're just playing, they have to start producing some attacks. So let's take this. Ooh, we get it. 2 on there. This card goes away. Over here, we're going to trigger this attack. A 5. You can say 6, not damage to that card. Over here, we're going to trigger it. Why not? 4 on 2. Enter this trap. Take damage. On top of your deck. So we're at 3 damage now. Maybe 4 damage. This trap is going to go to these. And then, yeah, this card goes here. This card goes to the takes damage. They're not doing damage. Over here, we don't want to trigger this at all. We know your trap. We're not going to defeat it. Let's just take a loss. There's always going to be that trap. Let's just trigger it. We're not. We don't need to spin this. There's always going to be that trap. So yeah, and draws 1. They get damage. This card goes away. This card goes away. This card also goes away. Let's just take destroy. Okay. That's it. That's it. Let's grab all these cards over here. Then we're going to take from the top those 2 cards. Let's get a sprite, get energy. Get 5 on both sides now. We can draw 1 and put 1 back. Put it back. They can draw 1 and not put it back. Then we get our shields. This guy's a lot of damage on his piece and recover. Let's get rid of all these. When we recover for 4th time, we only get 3 back. So let's grab these 3 and not applicable right now. This player has 2 damage and recovery that needs it, right? Okay. Next turn. He's going first now. Playing it simple for this guy. He's going to play this attack card. Over here for 3. To give him a light energy. It's fine. Okay. And this guy over here, he's going to this guy's swinging for 4. He could swing for up to 6. Defending him seems like a lost cause. Not really, but it could be. Let's just send the old tricky trap back his way. Their turn. I'm going to play this card down here. Spin 1 to activate it. Yep. Over here, we're going to want to get rid of that. So we're going to swing over here with this 3. We're swinging over here for 3. We're going to gain our light. And we're not going to boost because 4 is a good number. Our turn over here, we're going to trigger this battle. So 5 to our 4. It sucks so bad. Then they're going to get to trigger their trap. We blitz 2. 2 damage. 2 damage. So we're at 4 now. This card doesn't It goes back over there, but, that was definitely not the favorable outcome for us. And this guy's turn, he's going to trigger this. But when we trigger that, we're going to use our ability here to just calm 3. And do that and then calm 1. So 2, we can't get that. We can't get that. We can get this. And then this ability says when we recover any amount, we gain 1 energy. Yippee-ki-yay. And then that's it. Their turn. He's gonna trigger this battle. Surprise, surprise. You beat it, so this card gets exhausted. This card becomes damage. And this player just took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage, and you know what that means. It means that he lost the game. And so that's the end of the game. And he just lost, just like that. So that's kind of one of my problems with this game. I think we've been playing, and obviously the footage will reveal all, but we've been playing for like a decent amount of time now. And the game you slowly build towards a loss, but it's so creeping and crawling. And then when you finally get there, it's like kind of anticlimactic because that didn't have to lose me the game. Obviously, once you have 4 damage, any more damage is going to kill you. But I didn't have to take 4 damage, and he didn't have to have the Blitz Trap card. And, it sort of is all so random. And besides that, like I said, it's cool because besides that, the board state is the same on both sides, but no one player is necessarily losing. So, for example, 3 stamina left on both characters. A similar total of resources, cards left in deck. So, similar total of cards in the exhaust pile. We both have similar can sizes, similar whole damage left and stuff like that. I mean, power sources. The board state was pretty similar. It's pretty 1-to-1. And even this guy had 2 damage, and I had 4, which I shouldn't really have had because of that busted trap card. But yeah, so it's like the game slowly crawls to a finish. And when it gets there, it can sometimes feel super anticlimactic. You don't know that this is the killing blow. It just is. Well, that was the killing blow in that sense. But I believe at that point, I really didn't have much I could have done to stop it. Not to mention that I was hopefully going to do 2 cards damage to this player, which I wouldn't have been able to know exactly what they were. Because the face down shield and then the blitz that was going to come off the active ability that I didn't get to trigger because I missed. Because he had a 5. And if I'd boosted there, which I should have done, then actually I would have, let's see what the math would have looked like there. So he would have had this. That would have been 3 damage. Right there, I would have won the game. I mean, this player would have won the game. And then he would have gotten the trigger off the blitz. And so if this was even a 2 or this was a 2, if any one of these were a 2, then the game would have been over right there because I would have done 2 damage to him. So when you really think about it, it really isn't that bad, right? Because yeah, the game ended so randomly and like abruptly. I had the damage trap, and then I was able to damage my opponent. But the game could have easily gone the other way, and it does kind of suck that it came down to such a random outcome. But it was a random outcome that I could have mitigated had I just boosted, right? If I'd boosted, I could have ended it, so to speak, and it wouldn't have been so, like, I made the choice, and I made the wrong choice, and so I lost. If I'd made the right choice, I would have won. And although it could have easily gone the other way, I guess that's a plus in the game's favor. That being said, I don't think I'm going to be able to upload this hour-long play session to YouTube unless you guys are expressly interested in seeing that. I'm going to do before this video, this battle video, I'm going to do a little bit of thoughts, and then after it, I'm going to give more thoughts, and hopefully, if you guys are really interested in the long playthrough, maybe I'll upload that as a separate video, but I'll probably just speed this up and chop it up, break it down to certain smaller pieces, and speed up the gameplay by like 2 times speed, so it's only like 30 minutes long or something. And so you guys can enjoy it, although it will be quickened. For anybody who's really interested in watching it, you won't have to hear me say ums and ahs and think for a long amount of time as I decide what's the best play. And you can see what I'm sort of talking about, which we'll get into again a little bit later. But anyway, that's me it for the battle video.
Here we are after the combat, the gameplay video thoughts, right? What does that look like? So I have 3 main problems with the game right now. For the most part, I like a lot of the rules. The resource system, the stamina system, the gladiators, the sprites, the sources, a lot of it works well. And it's putting together things that shouldn't work into an almost cohesive way of working. But we're going to try to make it, I want to tie it in a little bit together. That's where 2 of my problems come in. And the third one is a little different. So I have 3 problems, one really big, one really small, one that might be it might just be in my head, I'll be honest, right? A lot of times when you're creative, you might create problems that aren't really there. Start with when it's in my head. Combat. I feel like it's slow, sluggish. It doesn't snap, right? Despite having a quote-unquote fast-paced action system where you pass back and forth, pass priority back and forth, it feels like the moments between it are just like super slow. And it leads to, or maybe it's the product of, the second problem, which is a really big problem with the game in my opinion, and that is the win condition. The win con is, it's slow. It's slow getting there. I just completed an hour of gameplay, right, that I've caught up. I sped up probably for you guys because I felt it was boring. And throughout that entire game, the impact was missing from every action, every attack, even when one player did something that was good for them against their opponent. You just don't feel it. You're missing a lot of impact. In Magic, if you're swinging with a big creature, your opponent's life total goes down. You know that creature has a big number on it. You tapped, he couldn't block, his number went down. That tangible feeling is what I'm missing. When you knock out one of your opponent's big Pokemon, you draw your prize cards, you know you're getting close to victory. It's like you can feel it. Every time you're winning, you feel yourself winning. And although I like that my game has anybody can win at any moment type of system to it, which some games try to capture, and my game does actually pretty well, it comes at the cost of the winner feeling like he's actually making some sort of big difference when he makes a big play. And I'm looking to fix that. Any ideas will be helpful, and I can't wait to see what you guys come up with, or what I come up with usually, because people do give me ideas, but sometimes they don't give me them when I need them, so it is what it is. And the final problem is it's a small problem. I could fix it easily, but I don't want it to be the easy fix. And that is how I limit what each player can add to their deck. So if you don't know, in a lot of card games, or really all the good card games, they have this concept, or they have this, there's the fact that certain decks, certain characters, or certain decks, forget characters, even if you're not doing a leader-based game like I am, you can only add certain cards to your deck. And other cards are restricted behind walls of something, whether it be classes in Flesh and Blood, archetypes in Yu-Gi-Oh!, or lands in Magic, or resources in universes. Every game has a concept like that. You have to choose one lane to go down, one deck building philosophy sometimes, but usually it could just be one deck building choice that determines what cards you can add to your deck. Now, I obviously want that for my game, because a lot of games that don't have it run into a lot of problems of what they call good stuff soup, right? In which you just put all the best cards in together one deck, and it usually becomes a beat-down deck where you just use the best cards and you just wail on your opponent, and you just use everything from the game because everything's too accessible, so there's no identity anymore. So how am I going to fix this? I don't know. I have a couple ideas. I'm going to try testing them out, thinking about them. And I would love to hear your guys' concepts. Again, I could do the easy way out. I could just say you pick a class like in Flesh and Blood, which is the simplest way of doing it. You can use cards from your class. But I don't want it to be that simple. And so we'll see where it goes from there, right? And I hope it goes well. It gets better, right? So, but we'll see, I guess. All right, those are my post gameplay thoughts. We're going to work on all of these three things. I have some proposed ideas for a lot of them that I'm going to have to test out, obviously, on my own time, and then get back to you guys whenever I can. And I do like hearing what you guys have to think, what you guys think about the game. I try out almost every idea I've ever gotten for the game, and I've used them, almost every single one of them, and then eventually I might have realized that it doesn't work with the way or direction I want to take it. So if you think I don't listen to the small amount of comments I do get telling me what I should do with the game, don't think that. Even if I don't remember to acknowledge each and every one of them, I've definitely tried them each out, and sometimes some of them actually are still present in the game right now, and I might have even forgotten that somebody suggested it to me. So I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. I'd love for you guys to come back in the next video with more thoughts and more enthusiasm as this game gets better and better.
Well, that's going to be all for now, but if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys go ahead and watch some of our other videos that we've made on this channel. Also, give this video a like if you thoroughly enjoyed it. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our future content. And I hope to see you guys back at the Roost.